Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Manufacturing Alliance podcast. We have new microphones today, and Vanessa just went like, So if it's really, really, really loud this week and it hasn't been this loud, just turn it down a little bit because I don't know the volume of it yet. So now I do. She just told me to turn that down too, and I didn't do it. Now she's laughing at me. So I just want to welcome everybody back. It's a new year. It's a new look. We took some time to do some branding, and with that, we're going to have a bunch of new experiences. So the Manufacturing Alliance is a show that's dedicated to U.S. manufacturing and everything that goes into that. So we want to tell the stories, the pain points, the successes, all of that stuff, leadership skills, whatever it might be. We want to tell those stories and get them out there because here's the reality. Most people don't understand what we do and who we are or how things are made. And they're not going to know that until we tell them. And so that's what we're doing. And we're trying to do it in a fun and interesting way. So it's not numbers and nuts and bolts and charts and all that stuff. It's real stories from real people who are actually running the businesses that make things happen in the world that we live in. And so that's what this show is. That's what you're listening to. That's what you're watching. And that's what this is. So one of the things that we're doing this year that's a little bit different is trying to figure out how we can give back to the communities that we visit and things that we do. So a new initiative we have is, I just lost it, is called E210. And that's based on Ephesians 2:10, which talks about how we are workmen, right? And we are supposed to go out and we are supposed to go and do things and help people in ways that have already been set aside for us. And so what does that look like in a real sense? What we're going to be doing is every trade show, every conference that we're going to participate in, we're asking you to get there one day early. In that one day, we are going to go out into the community. And this is already going to be set up. It's not like we're going to wing it. I wing a lot of things. This is not one of them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set up time with an organization within the community, and we're going to go and we're going to volunteer services, and we're going to make an impact into the communities that we're visiting. And the first time we're going to do this is going to be at MD&M West. The show is from the 7th to the 10th, I believe. 7th to the 9th. We'll get to the 10th in a second. The 7th to the 9th. So on the 6th, we are going to go into the community of Anaheim and we are going to work on a service project. And this is something I've talked to a lot of industry people about, and everybody seems excited. So what does this mean for you? If you'd like to participate, if you're going to MD&M West and you want to give us 2-3 hours of your time, just let us know in the comment section or let us know in a chat, or you can even send us an email. Send Vanessa an email at vanessaf@alliancelasersales.com, and we'll get you all squared away. It doesn't cost you anything but your willingness to serve. So that is going to be on February 6th. Will be the first time we're going to do that. We're also going to do that during PT Expo, and we're going to have that all lined up as well. So stay tuned for that information. I mentioned the 10th. So on the 10th, February 10th, which is the Friday after MD&M West, our friends MR Mold are going to be putting on a charity golf outing to support iWarriors. Now, this is a cause that's near and dear to us. iWarriors is an organization that gives iPads to combat wounded veterans, which doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense. Like there's so many bigger things that you can do with the money. But what it does is it allows these combat wounded veterans to remember that they are important, that people are grateful for the service and for the sacrifices that they put forward. So first and foremost, it makes them feel appreciated. The next thing it does is it allows them to communicate with their loved ones when they're in hospitals, when they're in training, when they're in rehab. And these iPads are loaded with PTSD software and apps to combat the things that they're going through. So if you have not yet, or if you didn't even know about it, there are still spots available. I don't know how many golfers they're taking. I don't know what their registration numbers look like or their sponsorship numbers look like. But if you would like to participate in the event, you just go to iWarriorsGolf, mrmold.eventlify.com. And you can register there. You can do whatever you need. We will try and put a link in the chat, or we'll do whatever we can to make this easy for you guys to get through. So, what else? Is there anything else we need to talk about right now? No. So, housekeeping stuff. Yes, forgot to say this. We are a live show. Sometimes that's dangerous. Sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. But we're a live show because we want to hear from you while you're listening to this. So many times you listen to a podcast or you watch a video and you speak out loud at the show you're watching or listening to because you're frustrated because you have thoughts or comments or whatever, and you can't get an answer. Well, here you can get an answer. We want to cater to what you want to know about and what you want to talk about. So as we're going through the show, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, you have any thoughts, please go ahead and put that in the chat. And Scott Peters is on. He says that we are plenty loud enough. So Scott, I know that's rare for me, but thank you for the feedback. I guess I could push the microphone a little further away from me, but thanks for the feedback on that. Also at the PT Expo, thank you, Scott, for reminding me. PT Expo will be announcing winners for the SPE MTD, Mold Technologies Division, Mold Maker of the Year, Mold Engineer or Designer of the Year, as well as the Mold Repair Person of the Year. So if you have somebody in your business that you think falls under those categories, you should go to the SPE MTD LinkedIn page and find and just put something out there, or again, put it in the chat and we'll get you the address that you need to connect to. I apologize. I should have been prepared for that, but I didn't even think about it till I saw Scott. It's the first one of the year. We're back, and we got to work out some bugs, and hopefully you'll forgive me. And if you don't, we'll get past it. We'll be fine. It's okay. So we are live. So if you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, put that in the chat, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. We will see it. We'll get to it, and we'll ask those questions. And I keep saying we, but I'm sitting here by myself, and that's not for long. So I'm excited because I get to have a podcast guest, somebody that I just met today. They came to our facility. We did a tour. We went and had some lunch, and I think so far it's gone well. Hopefully she agrees. So I would like to welcome Kyra to join me from BTM Industries. Y'all are located out in Woodstock, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
So give us the brief rundown on who you guys are.
Okay. Well, as Tony said, and before I get started, can I just say that I so appreciate your heart for service, and thank you for this new E210
Yep.
It's called initiative. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's something that we can take part in and we can help out with.
The reason it came about is you go to these conferences, you go to these trade shows, everybody spends a lot of money on travel, hotels, and then all you do is you end up going to dinners and spending time talking about things that we all already know about, right? And to me, the best way to keep building relationships and know that you want to work with somebody is to see where their heart is and to work side by side with somebody and push to get better at things. So it just seems like it's an opportunity that's been missed by a lot of people. And so I'm working with trying to get Gardner Business Media on there, Mold Making Technology, and just get people involved and understand that there's so much more to work, right? Yep. That's the smallest part of what we do.
Yeah.
We are called to give back and help people in ways that maybe we're not currently doing. And sorry, well, like you said, I'm passionate about it. I think most people want to help and do more stuff. Yeah. They just don't know how. Mm-hmm. And so there has to be a platform, there has to be a way, there has to be an opportunity. And so we're providing that. And so we want people to be involved and take part as much as they can. So
and that's fantastic. And I thank you for that. Sorry, I got him off track.
No worries.
But my name is Kyra Tillman. As Tony said, I am the third generation owner of BTM Industries. We are a machine shop in Woodstock, Illinois. My grandfather started the company in 1963. So this is our 60th year in business this year, which is huge for us. We're going to try to figure out how to celebrate that well. and how to give respect to
Yeah.
that legacy.
That's great. We have Catherine Porter is listening with us. She says coming through just fine in Florida. Hey, Florida.
That's
Nice.
my mom.
That's your mom. Oh, I listen, Catherine. We need you to put some thoughts and comments in the chat because that would make this so much fun.
We don't.
Maybe some embarrassing stories or whatever. And Scott is reminding me again that there will be a special presentation to a special friend of the Mold Technologies division. So that's a little bit cryptic. It sounds kind of exciting. I don't know what that means. But if you're at PT Expo, you can find out. Scott, where is that presentation going to be made? Maybe that's the next thing we need to know. And you can throw that in there. So, third generation.
Yep.
I assume that you always knew that you wanted to be the third generation.
Well, as Tony and I have discussed that we have in common, I grew up a block away from my family's manufacturing company. And so I was always there as a kid helping out with things here and there. And I swore that once I left and went to college, I would never go back. It was just, I was determined it was not for me. I wanted no part of it. And look, I'm back.
So why do you think that is? Like I know my own personal journey of why I never thought I would work here, but what was it about growing up in that space that you thought this is not a thing that is going to be my future?
I think the biggest thing for me is I don't like to be told what to do.
Yes.
So
well,
I didn't like being told that I had to be there to help. And it was a different world. It was very dark and smelly and noisy and not that it's not smelly and noisy still. It is. We can't get away from that. But it was just very different. And my grandpa was there. My dad was there. My uncles were there. You know, there was a lot of loud talking and it just wasn't, I just didn't think it was for me.
Well, and let's be honest, for a long time, manufacturing was a good old boys club.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's a lot of areas where a female could be uncomfortable in that situation. Loud, boisterous, yelling, ball busting, all that kind of stuff, right? All in the same situation. And for me, it was not what I wanted to do. My father gave me every crap job that you could think of. Like if it was a bad job, that's the one he gave me to do. You know, we do polishing. It wasn't here's an air profiler. It was like here's a stone. You get to just use your hand and go back and forth like that. When do I know I'm done? You're not going to be done for like 4 hours. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
And he just made it horrible. And to his credit, he knew that he was being horrible because he called it justification for higher education. He said, you don't have to do good in school. You don't have to try. You don't have to go to college. You always have a job. Do you like it? Mm-hmm. So I said, no, I don't. I don't like this at all. And I tried forging my own journey. And through it, I learned a lot of stuff. But the prodigal son returns. Why did you come back then?
So, as somebody who didn't like the dirty, loud, dark manufacturing industry, I ended up in construction. Another loud, dirty, male-dominated field. And I loved it. I'm a building geek. I love buildings. I love architecture. I spent 14 years with a fantastic company as a construction manager. And I was at a point where I had small kids. I was gone a lot, missing a lot, trying to figure out what was next for me. And at the same time, my dad was in his family company all alone for the first time ever, trying to figure out what the next step was going to be for him because he didn't have a retirement plan.
Yep.
And those are worlds sort of converged. And, I was looking for the next step. He was looking for the next step. My husband actually made the suggestion, why don't you try going back and see what it's like? And I decided to, and 10 years later now, I'm still here and now I own the company.
It's funny how that works. And your dad, I'm assuming, is Tim. Yeah. And Tim writes and he says, you might mention that the second generation thought the same thing, that they were never, ever, ever going to come back. And so maybe it's just our fathers, Tim, that's not a knock on you. Maybe it's just that we just grew up too close to the situation.
Yeah,
and not really, for me, I didn't appreciate what was here.
Mm-hmm.
And, we would just come to visit every once in a while. I would work on the jobs that I worked on, but I never fully understood or appreciated the people side of the business, or what we were actually doing, that the things that my father was helping to build.
Mm-hmm.
It helps run the world. I mean, it sounds stupid to say it that
No,
way.
it does. And I certainly did not appreciate that at all.
Right.
And which is a huge thing that I have so much appreciation for, and immense amount of pride in what we do, what we produce, what we help put out into the world, and the things that we make right here in this country. It's just amazing.
Not even in the country, in this small little quadrant of Illinois,
Yep.
not Chicago,
Oh.
but in this small little, Wakanda or Woodstock or McHenry County or Lake County. It's we have a hand in doing things that are amazing everywhere.
Yep.
We're working with medical companies that are creating parts that are saving people's lives every day. And that's some of that stuff that people don't fully recognize what that looks like in a real world application.
Yeah.
And then also being able to provide jobs for people, and good jobs where they can take care of their families. And it's not menial tasks. It's not fast food. It's careers that, maybe somebody that doesn't like sitting at a computer, they like working with their hands. This is a job for them.
Yeah.
And what that looks like. So I know that your daughter is working there and your son is also working there. So you're growing that already.
Yep. We have the fourth generation involved now, which is fantastic. I don't know if they'll stay long term. They're probably thinking like me, that as soon as my mom can't make me do this anymore, I'm leaving. But
you think that, but like we talked about earlier, God's got a funny way of like pulling you back in, and that's fine. That's great. Scott Peters says a common theme. My father always pushed us away from the industry. Sorry, I'm trying to pop this up. My father always pushed us away from the industry and wanted us to do better. But how can we do better than providing products that save lives? That's the theme, right? And I think that's one of those things that so many people miss. They just think of manufacturing as what they've seen, and what they assume manufacturing is like.
That dark, dirty dungeon.
Yeah.
That I didn't want to be part of.
Right.
Exactly.
But I can't tell you the last time I've been in a shop that was that dark, dirty dungeon.
Yeah.
Most of the places you go to now, the lighting is better than it would be in a shopping mall or a storefront or whatever.
Yeah.
Most shops now have people that are cleaning all the time. It's dirtier if you go to a Target or a Walmart, and it's not that same place that you would assume it once was.
Right.
So one of the things that I know that you are passionate about is helping to inspire that next gen, whether it's your kids, or what does that look like to you?
To me, like I said, I am a big advocate for manufacturing in general and what we do in this industry. And one of the ways that I help inspire is through an organization called the Manufacturing Pathways Consortium that we have in McHenry County. It's a fantastic consortium. It's a group of manufacturers, educators, banks, all kinds of different service industries that have come together to try to further workforce development within the manufacturing industry in and around McHenry County.
Yep.
And it is just, I'm so proud of our county for rallying around manufacturing the way that they have. We're a big employer in the county, and we're the biggest contributor to the GDP of our local, county economy. And they've seen that, and they're rallying around us. And we've been able to put together a lot of initiatives, like a rotational internship program that I'm really excited about, that started last summer in the county. And it's fantastic to be able to introduce high school kids to our worlds,
right?
And to get a firsthand look inside of our shops and spend some time with us, and stand next to the machinists, and go into shipping, and spend time in inspection and just really see what it's like.
So when you say rotational internship, what does that look like?
So it's a 10-week period over the summer, and kids apply for the program, and they'll spend 5 weeks with one company, and then they spend 5 weeks with another company.
Okay.
So, for instance, last summer, one of our interns spent 5 weeks with us, and then he went and spent 5 weeks at Scott Forge in Spring Grove.
So the two totally different experiences, I'm guessing.
Completely different experiences. And they spend 29 hours a week working in each company for the 5 weeks that they're there. And it's just, it can just really open their eyes. Maybe they'll never go into another manufacturing shop again, but maybe they'll end up being in manufacturing, or maybe it just opened their eyes to some other part of the world that they want to see more about.
So it seems very interesting to me that, McHenry County is doing this. Are there a lot of companies that participate?
Unfortunately, in the inaugural year last year, we only had 19 companies participate. There are over 500 manufacturing companies in McHenry County.
So I would add to that 500 manufacturing companies, you guys know who you are, that cannot find employees and are trying to figure out how to get people passionate about this industry. So 519 signed up.
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to get the numbers there.
Yes. And so far for 2023, we have 20.
Okay. So it's better.
It's better.
It's growth.
It is. And I understand. It can be challenging. Some large companies don't like to have people under the age of 18 on their shop floors.
Okay.
There are some potentially legal barriers for people and things like that. There's no end to the excuses that you can come up with. But it's, for our team, I'm lucky in that we have an amazing team. They're not just skilled, they really care about what they're doing. And we're all on board for just being stewards of the manufacturing industry. And that's why we're doing this.
Right.
We're doing this to just try to say, come and see what we do. Come see what it's about.
Right. And so here's one hurdle. Why am I going to pay to train somebody for 5 weeks?
Right.
And they're going to disappear. So what's the plan for the consortium?
So the consortium, we have grant money actually for the first 3 years of the program, where the consortium pays 50% of the wages for all of the interns during the course of the internship program.
Okay.
So employers pay $8 an hour.
Okay.
The county pays the other $8 an hour.
That's not a bad deal. I mean, you can invest $8 an hour, 29 hours.
Yes.
I'm not a mathematician. I'm not going to do those numbers, but it's affordable labor, and you're training the next gen of people to come in.
Yeah.
And it's not even about, in my opinion, it's not about necessarily the people that are there. If the people that are there are getting a good experience, they're going to go tell their friends, and then their friends are going to want to be part of manufacturing. It's going to continue to grow, and it's going to be a snowball. But we need more people participating in that.
Yes. Yeah. And there were some of the people that went through the program last year are still with the companies they interned with in full-time positions.
Okay.
So although that's not the only goal of the program, it certainly did happen. And I would anticipate as the program goes on, it's going to continue happening.
Yeah.
And these kids are going to gravitate back towards the companies that they saw in the intern program too, knowing that they're friendly to young people and to helping people learn.
What was the experience that you had with the interns that came to your facility? Are they still there? Did they move on?
None of ours are still in the company with us, but we had a great experience. One of them came in just kind of, dragging his feet. My mom made me come here, and I didn't really want to do this. And, he really thought he just wanted to play with computers. So he only wanted to be on our CNC equipment. And he ended up being on our biggest machine that's 100% manual and having the time of his life. And he just kept telling us, I had no idea. I was going to like it so much. And, the oldest piece of equipment in the building is the one he liked.
Yep.
It was so neat to see the transformation in him from, coming in like his mom's dragging him by his ear to really enjoying himself.
Because again, he didn't know what to expect. And David Ramirez, my good friend David Ramirez, awesome additive expert. He's doing the math for me, and he says 8 times 29 is $232. So $232 a week to one, have a employee for 5 weeks, and then they rotate. So you might get another one in 5 weeks. So it's 10 weeks total. $232 a week. You get a person, and you get to help them understand what we do as an organization, as an industry, as a group. And so listen, if you're in McHenry County, sign up for this thing, would you? We're going to do it. I know we're going to do it because we have the Prairie Grove facility. And so in Prairie Grove, we can participate. In Wakanda, it might be a little bit harder. But in the Prairie Grove facility, we're absolutely going to sign up for this. I already sent Katie a message trying to ask her about it. So it's great. My brain shut off for a second. Let's see. I'm going to ask you one of these fun questions. All right. What do you consider yourself an expert at?
I am an expert at finding other experts to educate me on things.
That's good.
I'm really good at finding the expert that I need for something. I'm not really an expert at anything.
Yeah.
Except for that. I'm very good at that. That's
good. Very good. I think there's a huge strength in there because you look at it and you say, I can have enough humility to know that I don't know the answers to this, and I don't need to be the best at this. I just need to surround myself with people that can help me get to where I need to get to. That's a huge thing to be an expert at, because too many people are full of ego and just like, I need to be the best. It's all me. So it's refreshing to have something like that. Let's see. Kelly Allen. Do you know Kelly Allen?
Yes, I do.
All right.
She's one of our amazing team members at BTM.
She says one of our interns was from Prairie Grove. So there you go. It's a nice place to live, I guess. I mean, we live right across from there. And your mom chimes in, says, oops, we lost it. Hold on. We're going to go back up. There you go. He has filled him, Bezalel, with the Spirit of God, with skill, with intelligence, with knowledge, and with craftsmanship. Exodus 35:31. God is with our manufacturing industry and your company's service. I think, listen, that's what we're here for. That's part of it. So that's a good thing. Kyra surrounds herself with exceptional people. Look at your mom.
That's probably one of
the
biggest
Did she
reasons.
hire them? Is that why she's saying?
No, she had nothing. She wanted less to do with the company than I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, there is a theme here. But then we get involved and then we end up loving it, which is a crazy thing. Michelle, one of our team members, says she loves the conversation and the idea of the internships and everything else. And it's good. It's good to be able to give back and be able to do those things. It is. Let's see. How about this one? What is the main quality that you think makes a great parent? And your daughter is here, so she will let you know if you're doing a good job at it.
The main quality, patience. Absolutely patience, which I don't always have enough of. My daughter is probably shaking her head, yes, agreeing with me. But patience, yeah. It's hard to navigate your way in this world, and sometimes as a mom, I just need to be a little more patient.
Yeah, I think, when I look at that question, and we ask it all the time, it's one of those things that, to me, the same skills of being a parent is being a leader, whether that's at work, whether that's in an organization that you're part of, and all those skill sets that you need to parent your kids, you also need to lead an organization.
Yeah.
And patience is definitely one of those, because you can't control everything that's going on.
No.
It's a difficult situation.
Yeah.
So what's been your favorite part of having your kids and your family as part of your business?
I think it's that shared experience has been great. I love seeing my kids go from, little ones running around to contributing team members now who come up and say, what if we did this, Mom? What if we did that? What if we try this? Maybe we should, think about doing this way. And that's been fun, is seeing them grow and seeing them embrace what we do and really get charged up for manufacturing too. And hopefully not dreading it like I did as a kid, but
dread's a big word. It's a big word. So what, that's the best part. What's the worst part?
We're together all the time.
Yeah.
We live together, we work together, we eat together, we do everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as you want to, you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
At work, you're still family. And
Yeah.
in family time, you're still work colleagues. And so there's no off time.
Right. Right. Even when we're off riding four-wheelers in the North Woods, we still stop and talk about work when we're on the side of a trail, and it's, it doesn't ever turn off. So that's hard. That's the worst part.
And I think that's normal. I mean, for families that work together, live together, I mean, that's part of doing life together, right? If I get together with my brother who doesn't work here, we talk about work.
Yeah.
And when you're all in that same spot, it becomes more than just a job. I mean, it's your lifestyle. It's how you can afford to go four-wheeling in the North Woods.
Yeah.
And so you better be passionate about it. You better care about it and want it to be the thing that drives you into having success.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys are busy now?
Mm-hmm. We are gratefully. I'm very grateful. We've got fantastic customers that are they're going gangbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your biggest challenge at the moment with work?
Having enough people to keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to find people. So that's why we do things like rotational internship programs, so that we can introduce them to manufacturing.
Yeah. And I know that there's a thought process out there that we just need to have skilled people now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where people think those skilled people are going
I
to
don't
come from,
know.
because we had a whole generation, myself included,
Yep.
that thought that you got to leave high school, you got to go right to college,
Yep.
you got to do that, and that you don't want to work in manufacturing.
Right.
And so now there's that gap, and we're going to suffer in a gap for the next, who knows, 10 years or so.
Right.
And I know the initiative is bring everything back to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But honestly, do you think we're prepared to do that?
No, and that can't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
And you're right. The talent doesn't exist, and from our point of view, we need to grow them. We know that, and like I said, we have a very skilled team. We're very blessed to have a great team that they want to pass on their knowledge to other people. So they want people to come in. We have an apprenticeship program that's registered with Department of Labor. They want people to come in and go through that program and learn about the trade from them. We just need to find the right people, right? And the right people are the ones that want to show up.
Yeah. Listen, showing up is step one. If you can show up, you're better than like 60% of other people.
And
right?
show up consistently.
Yes,
That's
not just the first week.
Right.
Sometimes the first week is a hard one too.
It is, it can be.
So when you look at that, when you're interviewing people to bring them on board, what are the things that are important to you?
We look more at somebody's character than anything else. We don't have a big shop, so when we have one bad attitude or one person that wants to say that's not my job, that's not something we say.
No,
we don't say that's not my job. When you get a person like that in, it ripples through the company so fast.
It does.
And it just can erode everything we've been working for. So that's really what we look at when we're talking to people is, who are you? What are you made of? And which is hard to judge also in an interview. But that's big to us. It's just, wanting to work hard and wanting to be part of a team. There's a very old machinist mentality that this is my machine and I'm going to stay here. Don't talk to me and I'm not going to talk to you.
Right.
And we don't subscribe to that. We cross train people. We want people to know how to do other things. We want people to come together and find solutions and help each other. So those are the kind of people that we're looking for.
Yeah, I think that's a solid plan. I mean, I learned it from the team at Westminster Tool. They were the first people that said it to me, that you train for character, or you hire for character and you train for skill. And Westminster Tool, I mean, I love them. I love their culture. They will continue to say, we build humans, right? We build character traits, and we build humans, and along the way we also make some pretty kick-ass molds. That would be a way of saying it, but it's true. You have to invest in the people side of life, and what that actually looks like. So what are the types of things that you guys are currently machining, building, working on? What's in your wheelhouse?
We work with a lot of heavy industrial companies. So we work on mining equipment, construction equipment, architectural systems. We work with a number of machine tool builders.
Okay.
So we're kind of the rough and tumble guys, the heavy stuff. Although we do, we can do things down to the size of a dime, up to 6,000 pounds. We kind of run the gamut. We're a high mix, low volume shop. 1,000 pieces is a lot of pieces for us. We work on a lot of castings, a lot of weldments. We've got a lot of our customer base is local.
Okay.
We've got a fantastic customer base, and some of them go back to 1963 with us. And we've been on this ride together, and it's been great.
What's your favorite project you ever worked on, or that you've seen come through BTM?
One of the more interesting things that we've done were some custom architectural components for the Bellagio Hotel. We've done that a few times. And it was just, we make standard components a lot for doors, but to be able to do these kind of one-off fancy, hotel pieces was kind of fun. And it was challenging.
Did they give you a free stay or anything? And they said,
No,
no,
nothing.
Well, hopefully you made enough money where you could afford this thing.
I wish.
Come on, Bellagio, be better. How about this one? You are the boss, so that doesn't work. Who was the best boss you ever had, and what made them the best?
I had a number of really good bosses in construction. I worked for the same construction company my whole time, right out of college till I left construction. And I had some really good bosses there who were just, they were caring. They really, they knew how to get the job done, but they cared about the person getting the job done too. And a lot of what I do today, I learned from them, and how to care about your team and care for your team.
Yeah.
And, because if you take care of your team, I believe, then your team's going to take care of your customers. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
It's my job to look out for my team.
Absolutely. Your mom is chiming in saying the same thing, that Kyra celebrates her excellent team often with fun and regular activities. She works at lifting them up, lifting everyone up. It's important. I think that's one of those things that people have a much bigger option on where to work and what to do now. And so I think that's part of that idea of quiet quitting that society is talking about now, where you just kind of like, I don't fully understand it. Maybe you just like start to fade off into the background. You're like, what can I get away with doing? What's the smallest amount I can get away with doing? And because they don't appreciate me here anyways.
Right.
So why am I going to give my all to what we're doing? It's so funny because, my father, he loves fun. He loves all that kind of stuff. But, he would give Vanessa a hard time. He'll give me a hard time. Like, what are you doing now? What is this poetry stuff you're doing? What is this? Why are you doing this?
I get that a lot.
Yeah, right? And so what's interesting is you look on the flip side, and then I'll talk to people that run other companies or whatever, and they'll comment and say, the stuff you guys are doing with marketing is so unique. Like we tell our people, do what they're doing. Just try and do that kind of stuff. Get it out there. And it's just taking a break and going to Jewel and buying a bunch of ice cream sandwiches and walking around the shop. To me, it's not just throw them in the break room and say, hey guys, there's ice cream sandwiches, but walking around saying, hey, it's hot today. Here, you want ice cream? You want ice cream? What kind do you want? You want a drumstick? You want a popsicle? You want an ice cream sandwich? There you go. And just like taking the time to just recognize people and care enough to do that. And I think that's the difference, right? Where you and I were maybe in the shop, and it used to be you work till break time, you stop, you work till lunchtime, you stop, you wait till break time, you stop, and then you go home. And there was not as much talking and fun and fun. And some people say it's work. It's not supposed to be fun, but we spend more time at work than we do at home.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time at work. My philosophy is there's no reason not to have fun at work. I don't want to not have fun at work. So if you work with me, you have to be subject to my fun.
Amen. I don't want to be miserable every day. And so my hope is that, believe it or not, I get accused of being a little too loud or too rah-rah or whatever. And people are like, listen, Tony, this is not a youth group. You could tone it down a little bit. But I think it's important, right? As the head of an organization, you set the tone for the passion and the energy that's going to come through to everybody else. If you don't bring it, why is anybody else?
Right.
And it's Kellyanne is saying, what's going on with Nerf guns?
Well, there are lots of Nerf guns in our shop. Actually, our shop foreman's, the back wall of his office, he has Nerf guns hanging, like actual guns. And everybody has a Nerf gun in their toolbox, at least one. And sometimes some of them have confetti cannons in their. You never know what you're going to find. And very often a Nerf gun war will break out. Usually when Kelly Allen is walking through the shop, she becomes the target.
All right, it sounds like she might be the instigator.
She very well might be.
Nice job, Kelly. I appreciate it. I know Jessica here, she's got a whole drawer of Nerf guns. Vanessa does too, because I think it used to be a thing here, and it probably, this is before my time, it probably got a little too amped up, is my guess, and it became less work and more Nerf gun.
You guys can bring your Nerf guns over by us and join in the fun. It's fine.
That's how we're going to walk in. We're going to walk in. It's going to be like the Matrix elevator scene. And we're just going to walk in with trench coats and Nerf guns and just start shooting everybody in BTM. And we're going to see where that goes to.
And nobody would be surprised.
That's a goal. We're going to make this happen. We're not going to tell anybody when we're coming. We're just going to walk in like we own the joint and just make it a thing. So do you guys participate in any trade shows? What are trade shows for you guys?
We do not.
You don't?
That is not something that we've done.
Okay. Good. I am a love-hate relationship with trade shows.
Yeah.
When COVID happened, they canceled all the trade shows,
Yeah.
and somehow we made more money. Like our sales went up without trade shows, without marketing. And I know the people at Gardner don't like to hear that, but it's just a reality. And I think it's because we had to get creative, and the reputation we had built over the years kind of like took over that point. And with social media and everything else, there's so many different ways that you can get in front of people where that's not the big thing anymore. But we got a couple main ones that we go to, and that's really it. So I think, you're part of the TMA also?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I love the TMA.
I do too.
I think they're doing a great job over there and keeping people organized and what's going on. Annual dinner was fun. I try to get involved with as much stuff over there as we can, but there's stuff all the time, so it's hard.
I know there is. I'm not as involved as I should be, or as I used to be pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I kind of let a lot of that slide, but I think TMA is a great organization, and they really support manufacturers, and they're always out fighting for us.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you're trying to figure out what is the TMA, look up Justine Ewald on LinkedIn and just message her. She does an awesome job of communicating with people and filling them in on what's going on. And she's a heck of a musician too. So you should listen to her music. It's fun. It's good. So we're getting towards the end of our show here, and we always end the show with prayer requests. So if you are listening and you have any thoughts, prayer requests, go ahead and put those in the chat and we will get to them. Do you have anything that we've left out so far that you absolutely want to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I want to thank you guys for having me on for my first podcast.
Podcast. Pretty good, huh?
Tony twisted my arm.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And thank you. And if there's any McHenry County manufacturers listening, please reach out about the rotational internship program. I'm happy to answer questions. I can get you in touch with the right people, but we got to inspire that next generation. We can't do it alone.
No. And if people want to get a hold of you, there's some contact information, but the people listening, how should they best contact you to have you quote projects or just find out what's going on with this McHenry thing and life in general?
Yeah. My email, do you have my email, Vanessa? They'll provide my email, Kyra at btmindustries.com. That's the best way to get me to reach out for quoting or Manufacturing Pathways Consortium, internships, all things manufacturing. If you just want to chat, if you want to be friends, that's fine.
You just want to chat, just call. How's your day? What's
Yeah.
going on? Sometimes that's all people really want. We don't want to
Sometimes
talk
it
about
is.
work.
Yeah,
We just want to go hang out, have lunch at Lindy's.
it was
They
very
have a
good.
great beet salad now.
Looked good.
And you had a good wrap?
Yeah, it's good. Very good.
All right, last question for you. What upcoming life event are you most excited about?
I don't know if it's, I guess it's a life event, is the 60th anniversary for the company.
Yeah.
That's a big deal to
Are
me.
you guys having a party?
We haven't figured out what we're doing yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I think so. I hope so. I'm looking at my marketing department over here.
She's like,
my daughter.
yes, I am throwing an awesome party.
We've been talking about it for a long time, but we didn't get much past talking. So it's the year, so we need to, but that's exciting to me.
So you have enough on your plate. Your marketing person needs to come up with a plan, and all you have to do is sign off on it.
Yeah, that's a great theory.
Yeah? Huh? See? I just gave you more to do, and I gave you less to do. All you got to do is sign the check, Mom.
Yeah, right.
So that's a good thing. That's not a problem. Do you have any prayer requests?
I don't.
Okay. I will pray for us and we can get out of here and get about our day. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this new friend and all that you've done in our lives. Thank you for the opportunity to share with people watching and listening, and just hopefully be a light and a reflection of who you are. And we just pray that you would continue to watch over us, that you would keep us safe, that you would continue to provide for us. And through all of it, we promise to trust you. And even when it gets hard or confusing, or we don't know where to turn or what's happening, we can know that you are orchestrating our lives and putting us in a position to succeed in some regard. And so we give it all to you. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Kyra, thank you for being bold enough and brave enough to do your first podcast. I hope it wasn't horrible.
No,
I
thank
hope,
you.
good
guest.
I hope that you enjoyed it a little bit. Most times people are a little bit on edge. You're not sure the first time they do this, but I think it's important because everybody has a story to share, right? Mm-hmm. And your story could inspire the next person to want to take over their family business and say, listen, what else can I do with what my father's given me and what that looks like? And how can I do better than what was already there? I mean, I feel the same way you do. We were given a foundation, right? What we do with that foundation, a really strong foundation, what we do with that is up to us, and how we grow it and how we take that and build a platform on it to then go out and lead other people and serve the community and make an impact. Man, it's so much better than starting from nothing.
It is. That's
so
true.
Thank you for everything that you do for inspiring the next generation, for welcoming them into your shop, for being a proponent of women in manufacturing and people in manufacturing and just growing the industry. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on and not taking the easy way out and chickening out. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for listening. See, it's not that scary. If you would like to be on the show, we want to have you on. We're filling up spots pretty quickly. And so we want to have you come on and tell your story. Everybody's looking for ways to be recognized as far as businesses, as we're all growing. And this is one of them. So come on, tell your story, inspire that next generation of people, and make a difference. One of the things I didn't say because I took it for granted and I forget is that this show is powered by Alliance Specialties and Alliance Laser Sales. Your home for all things mold making. We're mold makers that don't build molds. We do all the other stuff: polishing, laser welding, engraving, hot runner repair, mold maintenance, and we also build and sell laser welding equipment here in the United States. Not many people do that. And so last things, if you want to participate in E210 at MD&M West or PT Expo, please make a comment or send us an email to let us know. We want to get you involved in whatever that looks like. If you're going to be going to a trade show that we're not mentioning and you want to take E210 and do that there, let us know and we will help you to do that as well. We just want to continue to do our part to lead through industry. And really, that's what the Manufacturing Alliance is all about. It's about us coming together as a whole to give back, and inspire, and change the industry any way we can. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. On behalf of myself and Kyra and BTM, and all those people out there that thought they'd never work in their family's business, but here we are. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Take care, and God bless.
Bye-bye.